back sooner than we thought!
Welcome back to another episode of the Medium Cool Show. Today, we have an absolute banger of a video for you guys, because we're going to be traveling back to the year 1994 to Italy, because we're going to be talking about the Italian horror classic Dellamorte Dellamore, aka Cemetery Man.
Get down or I'll shoot.
You can't. I'm the mayor.
X.
Cemetery Man.
Directed by the one and only legend Michele Soavi. This is one of my all-time favorite pictures.
All time?
One of my all-time favorite movies, yeah.
Damn.
It's so just unique and different, and I just really fucked with it. It was just a cool movie, but also just the way that the story is told is just really, I haven't really seen anything like it, you know? Mm-hmm. And Michele Soavi, I'm a big fan of Michele Soavi. This is his masterpiece. This is his best movie. But he made a movie called Stage Fright, and that was his debut feature, which was also produced by Dario Argento because he used to work for him.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to assistant direct him and shit like that. And then he was like, dude, why don't you make a film, you know? And he was like, sure. And then he helped him make Stage Fright. And then he directed his sophomore film, The Church, which is also produced by Dario Argento, a movie that I really like as well. Yeah. It's a dope-ass Italian horror film. Stage Fright is a giallo, by the way. And then skips to 1994, and he makes Cemetery Man. Yeah. Starring Rupert Everett as the hopeless romantic loner. Yeah. And also, dude, I just love I gotta mention, I love the premise of this. That's another thing I fucking love.
It's
a
great premise.
Cool.
It's such a sick premise.
Yeah.
The guy is, basically he's the groundskeeper for a cemetery. And every night, after 5 days, a dead body rises from the grave.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 12 days or 7 or 12, something like that.
Yeah, but and then he has to put him down. He has to kill him. Yeah. If you're bit by them, something happens.
No, if you're bit by them, nothing. You don't get infected. You have to you have to actually die, and that's what happens because he accidentally kills that girl. Yeah. But yeah, his job, it's such a fucking sick job, dude.
Yeah. And then Nagi, his friend there.
Yeah, his sidekick who works.
Yeah, he's so great there. Their hijinks are just so good, and I love the premise of he has this huge secret, but no one ever really believes him. You know? No,
they do. The town knows what happens there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the town knows what happens there. The town knows about it, and it's just an open thing that's people that are buried here come back to life, you know? That's why people go there, and that's why when the teenagers die, the girl goes there, and she's like, oh, I need to see him, you know? Yeah. But yeah, that's the idea, is that he fucking kills zombies. Yeah. And he has to make sure that they die. Yeah. And he's sort of this, brooding, loner kind of Ryan Gosling era. Not era, but kind of that, a brooding, doomer kind of guy.
He's definitely a doomer. I'm trying to think of who I could compare him to.
He's obsessed with death, too.
He's so obsessed with death, to a point where I'm like, all right, get over yourself, dude. A little bit. That's my one problem with this film, is it gets very, very self-indulgent. And a little bit incel-y, in the way he think and shit. Where he's a little bit just it's all right, dude, get over yourself. The writing itself, I was like,
I think he's cool. I think maybe because I relate to the character, and it's just I don't know, I think he's kind of a cool guy. He's not a typical heartthrob dude, even though he's really handsome and shit, and he's kind of a brooding dude.
Yeah, he's brooding, yeah, for sure.
But I can probably see girls thinking oh my god, he's so handsome and depressed, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he is. And we have Anna Facci, who plays the girl who's there, and her husband is being buried. Yeah. He meets her there, and she's and he just becomes obsessed with her. Yeah. And I guess she comes back and she's like, you have an oscillage or ossuary, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, ossuary, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, you have an ossuary, and then he brings her into that place that's an ossuage or whatever the fuck.
It's just like a decomposing room.
Yeah, it's like a cave, like a decomposing room cave, and then they like start to like kiss in there and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then they have sex on the grave of her late husband, but it's been 7 days since he died, so he comes to life. Mm-hmm. And they're basically cucking the husband.
Yeah.
And he he comes to life and then bites her, and then he's like, fuck, dude, like, she's gonna be infected or something. He's worried about that, and I guess he takes her to the ossuage, and she passes out.
She dies.
No, she doesn't die. He kills her, but he thinks that she's infected because she passes out, and then she comes back to life, and the fucking veil is on her. And then he's thinking, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. Like, she's trying to seduce. She wants to have sex with him. And she's like, oh, I love you so much. You're so sexy, la, la, la. And he's like, I'm sorry, I have to do this. And he fucking shoots her through, like, the veil and kills her. And that's how she dies. Because later, he thinks she's already died. But then later she comes back to life. And he's like, and he starts, like, having sex with her. But then she bites him. And then he kills her again. And then he realizes, holy shit, since she came back to life, when I thought she came into life the first time, she wasn't actually dead. She was still alive, and I killed her. And he has to face that. He has to face that that's happened, and then he starts seeing her over and over and over and over again. And he's fucking like dreading, like it's like a loss of like his love, and it's kind of like a grief. And that's the point where he meets death and goes full crazy. And death is like, why don't you just, if you're tired of killing the dead, why don't you just kill them when they're already alive? And that's when he goes out and starts going on these like murder sprees and shit like that.
Yeah, he starts killing a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the deaths in this are really cool. The deaths in this are like sick.
And the guy who was investigating him, is like, where were you from 1 to 2? And he was like, oh, I was like driving around. He's like, yeah, your car was spotted. And then like he's obviously did it, but he always just keeps getting away with it.
Yeah.
Which is such an Italian theme.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like a few, like there's so many Italian movies where the guy is just like getting away and it's like obvious that he did it, and there's like, it's like, I think it's just a corrupt theme like that's like very Italian. You have that, and then the scene, I love the scene where the kid fucking on the comes back to life and drives up on the motorcycle.
But that's like totally a reference to Psychomania, which you should watch.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
It's sick, dude.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Where like bursts out of the grave on his bike. Yeah. Here's what I thought. I thought what happened was like, so she gets bit by the husband and then she dies.
No, she didn't die.
But the doctor says she dies from a heart attack. He's like, she died from a heart attack, so she dies, right? And then he has to put her down. But when it comes to putting her down, you see the bullet miss. It grazes her head. It doesn't hit her in the head. It like grazes her head. So he's like, fuck, I should have killed her. Because she comes back again, and he says, like, I missed her head. He's like, I missed her head on the veil. I wasn't looking. I fucking closed my eyes. And shit. And so I thought that's what it was. But I like your reasoning better. I think that's better. But
because he gets bit and he doesn't nothing happens to him. She bites him when they're gonna have sex after she comes back.
Yeah, she bites him, and when she comes back, and Nolly finally kills her.
Yeah.
But he's bitten, but he's like, yeah, nothing happens if you're bitten.
Yeah, and he realizes that.
Yeah, because it's like doesn't happen until you're dead.
Yeah, but talking about Nagi, you know,
yeah,
his romance.
Yeah,
I love his like that little like romance that happens with the fucking
like
mayor's daughter, bro.
Yeah, the mayor's daughter, and it's just like a head. It's just her head.
Yeah,
she comes back as like a little demon, and she eventually kills the mayor. But yeah, Nagi's a sidekick, and Nagi's like one of the best characters in this because like they are the people that have each other's backs the most. You know, that's his like one friend, and you can tell that they like really care about each other in a way, even though he's like. Yeah, like they're like shitting on each other a bunch, you know?
Yeah.
And he's always shitting on Nagi, but like he still like cares about Nagi. That's his bro. Yeah, you know, like they're the only people that like each other in life, you know?
And I just want to discuss when they try to get out of the city, because that's a whole other thing, is when they're like, oh, there has to be another world. They can't just exist here, you know? And then they fucking go out and they like the road ends, just like the vastness and like a cliff, and then spoilers. I mean, this is, but whatever. It's not even like, I don't even think it matters. You can really spoil it because you have to really see this film, and you get more. And this is like the third time I've seen this picture. I really fuck with it. But that ending where they're on the cliff and then he becomes Nagi and then Nagi becomes him.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. It's just like a really interesting thing. Like, what do you think about the ending? What do you think at all? What's your interpretation of the ending?
I don't know. It's just like now he finally talks and then he's like, nah. You know, like, I don't know. It was very.
Like, what's your interpretation though? Like, what do you think it means when like, do you think like the world's not real? It's all in his head. Like, what do you? Because they travel out to leave because he wants to get out of there so bad. He's like, but he can't. He can't leave. Mm-hmm. You know.
I don't really know if I have like a good answer for the ending. You know, I don't like. It just seems
it's such a weird ending.
Yeah, it's very what's it called? Like surreal. It's like very like surreal ending.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it is. It's a really surreal movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's very it's like a dream. It's a dream. It's literally a dream, dude.
Yeah,
it's
but
not even.
It's funny. It's like really funny. Yeah. It's a very funny movie.
Because it does remind me of a dream, just because he keeps seeing a girl over and over, and I feel like sometimes like it was just like that was like a very surreal. Like it was very surreal, and yeah.
Anyway.
Dellamorte, Cemetery Man, guys. It's one of my faves. Later Italian horror film, like fantastical, supernatural kind of vibes, zombie vibes. But some of my favorite Italian horror films are Suspiria, The Beyond, and I like a lot of Mario Bava stuff. But let us know what your favorite Italian horror films are. It's Halloween, so we're going to be talking about horror films too.